Greetings from Bigbobby of Studio L7, fellow lens lovers. Gather round because if I got a story for you today, it's a classic tale of a humble photographer, a gargantuan task, and a company that still thought Myspace was a cutting-edge marketing tool. And yes, you guessed it, the protagonist in this tale is none other than yours truly. Let me set the scene. I just accepted a position with DinoCorp Inc., an aptly named company where typewriters clacked, faxes whirred, and any talk of digital transformation was as welcomed as a lens flare in a moody portrait. But being the optimist, I thought, hey, Bigbobby, how hard could dragging a company into the 21st century possibly be? Famous last words, my friends, famous last words. Now, if you've ever tried telling a black and white film aficionado about the joys of digital photography, you might understand my plight. Their eyes glaze over, they start mumbling about the good old days, and you can almost see their souls making a beeline for the nearest exit. That was pretty much every conversation I had for the first few weeks at DinoCorp. I mean, I tried everything. PowerPoint presentations, which they loved because it was just one step removed from the overhead projector, impassioned speeches during staff meetings, where I managed to induce a collective coma, and even one-on-one digital coaching sessions, where I discovered an uncanny number of staff were allergic to screens. Who knew? I could see my noble mission teetering on the brink of failure. The dark corridors of DinoCorp started to feel like a Silicon Valley black hole. But then, a light bulb moment. All the misguided attempts at persuasion had made me overlook the one thing we creatives know best, the power of storytelling. I decided to shift my strategy. Instead of focusing on what the company could gain from digitizing, I turned my attention to what they were missing out on. If there's anything we hate more than change, it's the fear of missing out, am I right? First, I showed them how the world was passing us by, how other B2B companies were harnessing the power of social media, podcasts, YouTube videos, and viral TikToks. I had to explain what viral meant, and no, it wasn't a type of disease, to connect with customers and rake in business. Next, I gave them a taste of our own digital potential. I started an unofficial DinoCorp Instagram account and began documenting our daily life, quirky traditions, and the heartwarming camaraderie that made the company unique. The account started to gain followers, and the first time a customer mentioned it, you could see the light of understanding dawning in my colleagues' eyes. And then, the coup de grace. I decided to record a podcast, shamelessly plugging Studio L7 here, where I interviewed the employees, from the CEO to the janitor. This was a masterstroke, if I say so myself, because it did two things. It put a human face to the company and gave everyone involved a stake in the digital transformation. With these simple moves, the company began to thaw. Conversations about digital transformation started becoming less about the fear of the unknown and more about the excitement of new possibilities. In other words, they were finally starting to get it. But let me tell you, the battle was just beginning. Just because they got it didn't mean they were ready for it. But that's a story for another day and another cup of coffee. And so, dear readers, if you ever find yourself in the seemingly impossible mission of dragging a company into the 21st century, remember this. It's not about the technology. It's not about the shiny new tools. It's about the story. It's about showing them the world they're missing out on, involving them in the journey, and giving them a taste of the future they could own. This has been Bigbobby from Studio L7, signing off and wishing you the best of luck in your modernization quests. Stay tuned for more tales of digital triumph and tribulations. And remember, no matter how hard it seems, the storyteller always has the power to change the ending. Until next time, keep those shutters clicking and those podcasts rolling. Welcome back, folks. It's your favorite podcast host, Bigbobby from Studio L7, returning to regale you with another tale of tech turbulence and triumph. If you're a regular listener, and if you're not, you should be, you might recall my anecdote about dragging DinoCorp kicking and screaming into the 21st century. Well, grab a cup of coffee because today, as promised, I'm revealing the sequel. Once they get it, are they ready for it? Let's dive right in. Okay, picture this. After weeks of tireless effort, DinoCorp was finally starting to catch on to this whole digital thing. The fax machine was gathering dust, and Instagram was no longer met with confused looks. Yes, folks, they were starting to get it. But as we all know, understanding and readiness are two entirely different beasts. Like a kid on his first bike ride without training wheels, there was a lot of wobbling, a few crashes, and yes, a little crying. Suddenly, DinoCorp had to grapple with challenges they had never even considered. How do we handle online customer inquiries? What the heck is a hashtag? And my personal favorite, do memes belong in emails? Folks, the struggle was real. It was like teaching your grandma to use Snapchat, and let me tell you, that is a story in itself. But it wasn't all laughs and face palms. There were some hard lessons too. The team was trying to sprint before they could walk, jumping headfirst into every shiny new platform they could find. We had a Pinterest for a week. Then someone decided we needed a Twitch account for a B2B company. And don't even get me started on the brief and ill-advised foray into TikTok. But each stumble was a lesson learned. We discovered the value of strategy over trend chasing, the importance of understanding our audience, and that not all platforms are created equal. But the hardest lesson? Realizing that even with the best tech, the heart of the company is its people. That first online customer complaint? It stung. But it also brought us together. We learned to navigate these new waters as a team, using the tools of the digital age to amplify the voices and values that make DinoCorp unique. So, to my digital soldiers out there dragging companies into the 21st century, remember, getting it is just the first step. Being ready for it, that's the marathon. But with patience, resilience, and a few good laughs along the way, you can help your team cross that finish line. And who knows, you might even find the courage to start a podcast, just like yours truly. Well, that's it for today, folks. Remember to subscribe to Studio L7 for more tales of the digital age. Until next time, this is Bigbobby, signing off.